In 1999, I published The Scottish Nation, 1700 to 2000, an attempt to survey and understand the domestic history of Scotland over the last 3 centuries and more. Then, Scotland's Empire, 1600 to 1815, appeared in 2003, and it described, explained, and considered the effect, both on Scotland and abroad, of the nation's central role in the development of the British Empire to the early 19th century. This volume continues that narrative down to the present day. Its focus, however, over the last 250 years is global as well as imperial, incorporating the post-1783 USA and other non-British territories in the overall account. My contention here is that Scots were never limited to the formal empire as migrants and adventurers. They were a global people whose diasporic roots were established in medieval and early modern Europe and then spread across the world. On the face of it, therefore, this may now appear as the 3rd volume of a trilogy, as my attempt to understand in its totality, through analysis of both home and overseas experience, the modern history of one country. If so, it was never planned thus, but evolved almost by accident. The present study impinges significantly on areas and periods which I have considered before: the domestic history of Scotland from the 18th to the 20th centuries, and the nation's role in the imperial project in its earlier phase, circa 1750 to 1815. Many studies of the Scots abroad examine the reasons for emigration from the homeland or the impact of them on the new lands. I have tried to combine both approaches in order to project a sense of interaction and the dynamic relationship between homeland and hostland. Scottish ideas and institutions have traditionally been regarded as important in the fashioning of new countries overseas, especially in the Empire. Much less attention has been given to how expanding settlements overseas were crucial to Scotland's own national history. Purists may cavil at the word diaspora in the subtitle. For some social scientists and historians, the term must always relate to the experience of the Jewish people, a process involving the coercion, uprooting, and forced removal of an ethnic group outside the boundaries of its established homeland. In that narrow definition, there is danger in its use by an historian of Scottish emigration. To some, it may legitimize the popular myth that Scotland's great modern exodus was in large part due to the dispossession associated with the Highland Clearances. This is by no means my intention. It seems to me, however, that one rendering of diaspora in the literature does suit the purposes of the narrative of this volume well. I seek here a return to the original etymological origins of the word, from the Greek to sow or to scatter,